No, Daddy's going live. But I would like it downstairs. If you want to microwave some food, do it that now. In 5 minutes, he's live, right?
Yeah. Actually, I'm live right now.
Well, she needs to heat something up.
At least I think I am. I'm gonna check and find out right now. Okay. Pretty dim lighting. Pretty poor lighting. Not exactly sure what to do about it either. It's terrible.
Are you live already?
Yes.
Oh.
I think so. Ah, that's a little better. Okay. There we go. That's a little better there. Hi, Marge.
Hi, Marge.
Marge, I'm using new software tonight. So tell me if you can hear me okay. Just type me a quick message in the comments. Is this feed on YouTube yet? I believe it is. I was just looking at it and I think it is. So let me try to get everything set up here. There we go. I have to keep changing the name of the profile that I'm interacting with on Facebook to get this to work. I'm going back and forth. So, in this. And go for it. Okay, you can hear me fine on Facebook. That's good. I'm almost there. Well, it's only 7:54, so got a couple minutes yet. Okay. I think we're getting there. All right. Let there be light, yes. Hi, everybody. Hope you can hear me and see me okay. I'm using a new software setup tonight. So far, I haven't mastered the lighting very well. I think it's pretty bad. But the video on YouTube will now be 1080 instead of 720, higher quality than Facebook. And I believe it will be a little more consistent sound. I'm using a program called Restream, which is the program that our main tech at the Greenwich Village Folk Festival, Brandon, has been using for our festival shows with considerable success. And he got me signed up for it, and we're going to try to use this as a device going forward so that I can go to both YouTube and Facebook. I know that Facebook is a good place for a lot of people, but there are also quite a few people who don't like to use Facebook, and this will make the music accessible to them as well. I wish I could figure out a way to get better light here. One thing I'm not too well versed in yet is the overall settings. Restream does not give you the opportunity to actually adjust the lighting, unlike Facebook or unlike Zoom did. So we lose a little bit of that. Okay. Let's see if I can get more light here without blinding myself. That's the problem. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's better. There we go. Okay. That works a little better. Good. Well, we had a very nice time last night. Tom Chapin was in town and we did a concert together in Miami. Really fun. Tom was in great form, played and sang beautifully. I thought he did a great set, and I opened the show, and then we did a couple tunes together at the end. Now, one thing that I don't have time to do tonight, with this setup, I suppose as I get more adept at it, I might be able to do this more in the future, but right now I can't. But going forward, what I'd like to be able to do would be to share it to some sites. I usually do that. I can't do that this time because I just don't have time to figure it out. But if any of you folks want to share it to your own pages, and from there to anything, there are all kinds of sites around the country. Folk Music Bulletin Board, Acoustic, all Florida folk musicians, a bunch of them. Speakeasy in New York City. And since I got a couple minutes till 8 o'clock, let's say hi. Okay, sound fine? Good? Hi, Nicole, says Marge. Lisa says you can hear me fine. And Mark, you're going to be here in May, you said. I think I'm here that week. Believe I'm around. I don't know why, but I've become superstitious over the years that I almost always start off shows with a song in the key of G. Maybe just because it's the key that my hands instinctively play the most easily. So let's just play a tune and get warmed up. Yeah, Sneaky loves to slither, a cow is born to moo, a porcupine to quiver, and the morning loves the dew. The world loves its balance as a gambler loves a chance, and all the boys love watching when the little girls love to dance. There's always a bigger fish and more than meets the ear, a fool born every minute, maybe there's one right here. The world loves its balance, and without a second glance, it sets the wheels in motion when the little girls love to dance. There was a man in my hometown one day, he said to me, "Don't I remember when you were just sitting on my knee, with your cowboy hat and pistols, your head all full of plans. I stole your gun, said stick 'em up, you threw up both your hands." The piano loves a tuning, the choir an organ chord, the good night a cathedral, and a well-tempered sword. The world loves its balance as a psychic loves a trance, and all the lights shine brighter when the little girls love to dance. There was a man in my hometown one day said to me, "Don't I remember when you were just sitting on my knee, with your cowboy hat and pistols, your head all full of plans. I stole your gun, said stick 'em up, you threw up both your hands." The mime loves a silence, the actor a curtain call. The trees love to lose their leaves when summer turns to fall. The world loves its balance as surfers love their tans, and all the bands play better when the little girls love to dance. Okay, I'm hearing it playing in my headphones, which shouldn't be doing, so let me correct that. Okay, that's off. Get that one turned off. There we go. Okay. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? All right. Well, one thing that happened in the last few days that I sort of overlooked at the time, but I thought about it a couple times, and I realized I missed the actual date. But I'd like to mention anyway, and that is that it would be the birthday of Tom and Tondi on January 12th. It was. He is no longer with us, of course, but it would have been his birthday, and I believe he would have been 76 years old. Tom was one of my best friends among the Village Folk Singers, and really played a major role in my getting out and doing my music early on. I was, yeah, there we go, hey. I was, you know, like a little bit shy at first about getting out and singing around the village. The other, all of us were somewhat, what's the word for it? You know, self-preoccupied trying to make a living. And it was kind of every man for themselves at times. But Tom very generously insisted that I come to all these events, including the Songwriters Exchange and things like that. And of course, the Songwriters Exchange turned out to be the place where I recorded my first recordings of my songs. And quite specifically, Tom insisted I come on the very night that I met Robin Hirsch from the Cornelia Street Cafe and played a song for him. And Robin said immediately that he wanted to record that song one day and put it on an album. And did, a couple years later. Tom was not a prolific songwriter on his own. He wrote mostly music to words that other people gave him. And he was probably the most receptive of all of us in the village in terms of covering other people's songs. And in fact, the very first song of mine that was ever recorded by another artist other than myself was this one on his album that he made in about 1976 called City Dancer. Late last night, a stranger came crawling down my fire escape. Came to a gate, bolted in my window, and ripped out the entire frame. Now there's boards on the floor, and I'm $20 poor, and the living room's got a breeze. On the window he broke, he left me a note saying there'll be others just like me. 'Cause there's hard times a-coming, hard times over the hill. You can't buy 'em off, can't shut 'em down. If hard times are coming, they will. You better stand in line to get somebody to say there ain't enough to go around. You better tell somebody about it, 'cause hard times is out on the edge of town. Oh, I got a sister who's supporting herself, a couple of kids and a car. By day she's hustling TV sets, by nights drinks over the bar. And the rent goes up and the money goes down, and the car don't go in the rain. And somebody tells her your expectations are too high to sustain. 'Cause there's hard times a-coming, hard times over the hill. You can't buy 'em off, can't shut 'em down. If hard times are coming, they will. You better stand in line to get somebody to say there ain't enough to go around. You better tell somebody about it, 'cause hard times is out on the edge of town. We got a GMP growing, we got a crisis in oil and gas. We got a lot of people taking up the money, not paying a cent of it back. And they give you a job making big dishwashers that break down before they're three. And there's somebody somewhere making a lot of money, but whoever's keeping it ain't me. 'Cause there's hard times a-coming, hard times over the hill. You can't buy 'em off, can't shut 'em down. If hard times are coming, they will. You better stand in line to get somebody to say there ain't enough to go around. You better tell somebody about it,
hard times is out on the edge of town. I called the guy on my fire escape last night when the moon was filled. He was hanging his head out 6 stories over from paying his final bill. Now somebody somewhere's making a lot of money, cause he was doing 30 a day. And it's getting pretty scary, cause there's more doing 30 and fewer 30s coming their way. And there's hard times are coming, hard times over the hill. You can't buy them off, can't shout them down. If hard times are coming, they will. You gotta stand in line to get somebody to say there ain't enough to go around. You better tell somebody about it, cause hard times is out on the edge of town. You gotta stand in line to get somebody to say there ain't enough to go around. You better tell somebody about it, cause hard times is out on the edge, out on the edge, out on the edge of town.
Well, I keep hearing it in the background on my headphones, and I keep turning it off on Facebook, but apparently it doesn't listen to me. Well, maybe it's just coming from Restream. I don't know. Didn't know it would. How we doing out there? Does it sound okay? Hi, Jack Lewis. Yep. Okay. Good. Hi, Katrina. Nancy in Lake Tahoe. God, you guys get around. Hello, Mike. Don't see the YouTube link. Well, I would say just search in the search box in YouTube for Rod MacDonald Live, and you should see it. It's you can even use the date. Use today's date. Rod MacDonald Live, 1-22-23. That's the heading of it, and that should be what you see. Let's see, it's still there. There it is. It's still going. I've got all 3 things running on my computer at the same time here, so kind of go back and forth. Oh, the YouTube one, I bet, is the one that I'm hearing in my headphones. There we go. Let me turn that down. Okay. All right. Let's play a new song. This is one I've recorded for a forthcoming CD. And I'm going to move this. Hopefully people will be able to see it down here more. That's my tip jar. All donations gratefully accepted. I knew a girl from across the sea. Didn't plan to stay here, but she came back to stay with me. Now my friends like her better than they like me, and I don't mind
I do too. Shows the quality of my good friends who know I'm a lucky man, you see. Ah, but enough about me. I knew a man, traveled the land, singing his songs anywhere he could lend a helping hand, wherever it was time to take a stand. 'Cause things didn't work out like you planned. I've sung his songs, I love the man. He was wise enough to understand. To fill his shoes was not my destiny. Ah, but enough about me. I knew a country great and strong, with a powerful sense of what's right and what's wrong, from whatever race or religion you came. Your rights and your freedoms are all the same, and I believe that anything less will surely mean we've gone and made a mess of this beautiful land of the free. Ah, but enough about me. Yeah, but enough about me. I knew a child who loved to dance, who break into a move anytime you had the chance. You could hear all the laughter in the air, from here to the far side of the square. And growing up can seem so very hard. Don't forget that childhood love is still a part of you for all to see. Ah, but enough about me. Let's tune that note. There's a pause in the traffic, the first rays of the sun blaze in the window, it's the day. I sit in this room 3,000 miles from home, watching the light reflect on the clay. Time to turn the flame around, time to burn the white shroud, time to look beyond the gray. Now that the rain has gone, now that the rain has gone away, once I was a slave worker, a fact in the machine. By night I dreamed I went to play. Now I walk past that window, every day I know my dream comes closer till it comes to stay. Time to line the edge to stars. Time to travel by the hearts. Time to say we'll meet again another day. Now that the rain has gone, now that the rain has gone away. Once I was a master, had a vision in my eye. No one's freedom mattered in the balance way. If you'd come as a flower, I'd have made you bloom each time, in a garden where you'd never own a space. Time to treat you like a babe, time to dig for you no grave, time to let your blossoms fall where they may. Now that the rain has gone, now that the rain has gone, now that the rain has gone away. Well, my fat fingers are still a little clumsy on this guitar, but I'm trying to get used to it because I really like the sound of it and playing it. In fact, for both of my last two shows, I played it for the entire concert, and it seemed to be very good for a live performance. Here we go. Okay. Well, I can tell you what the YouTube link is. It's let's see, it's youtube.com/watch. Here, you want to write this down maybe. www.youtube.com/watch V equals 649 W6 S2Z MSE, capital E, capital Z also, and capital W, small m and s. But I think if you just type in the search box Rod MacDonald Live 1-2223, you'll find it. Here we go. Well, my good friend David Steinberg told me this week, I think, that it was National Holocaust Remembrance Day, one day this past week. I may be wrong about that. I'm not necessarily up on all the latest holidays of any particular denominations, even ones I nominally am a member of. But nonetheless, I'd like to sing this song for you. I died, who was a child. There was the snow, and the smoke rose slowly of so many people. But now there's only a great silence of so many people in the wind. It's strange, but still I haven't learned to smile here in this wind. And I wonder, can man learn to live without killing? Or will this wind ever end? And still the cannons are sounding, and still he's not contented. This bloodthirst of the human beast, with so many people in the wind. And still the cannons are sounding, yes, and still he's not contented. We will be here always, the smoke and the powder of millions in the wind.
Tune by Mr. Guccini, Signor Guccini of Bologna, Italy. Translation by myself and a couple other people, Melinda Tucker and Mauro Furman, actually. A husband and wife. Couple that helped me translate that song. Okay. Okay, Remembrance Day is April 17 to 18. Well, I wasn't even close, but nice. All the same. All the same, I never regret singing that song. Wonderful song. Hit single in Italy. Mega hit single for a rock and roll band in the 1960s. Called Equipe 48, or Equipment 84, I suppose that means. Well, how does this guitar sound on your end, folks? It has a little fuller sound than my Martin. A little deeper. And the neck is a little thicker too, so it takes a little bit more, it takes me kind of adjusting on the fly to what I'm used to playing on the Martin to get all the notes. Saying, now look, it's a bloke and a bird gathered here today. Here's what he'd say: it's supposed to be fine, oh, brush your pompadour high, with a bright wall of vinyl, the groom a leopard skin tie, drop the coin in the slot, are you ready or not? Yeah, it was a rock-a-billy wedding, rock-a-billy wedding, rock-a-billy wedding. It's all right with me. The band was singing about shoes, blue suede if you please. There was no trace of the blues, nobody down on his knees. They were blowing that sound, even the preacher got down. Kisses coming in soon on a bridegroom's cheek, gone honeymoon to a 49 Ford, flames on the door. Yeah, it was a rock-a-billy wedding, a rock-a-billy wedding, a rock-a-billy wedding. It's all right with me. It was a rock-a-billy wedding, a rock-a-billy wedding, a rock-a-billy wedding. It's all right with me. What's that William Faulkner quote about sound and the fury signifying nothing? Well, of all my songs, that one may be the most fun to play. The most bang for the buck for 2 minutes flat, or 2 minutes and 10 seconds, or whatever it is. Hey, if I were you, I'd lay those weapons down. Go home to your pastor, your minister, your priest, your wife, your kids, your dealer, your television, or at least seek forgiveness for the harm you've done.
is going to happen. If you don't watch out, your fantasies will come true. You'll find yourself and your friends in a shootout with people all dressed in blue. Is that really why you came? To give patriots a bad name? You shut the hell up, said the man in the center. What are you, some kind of wise ass? No, just a concerned citizen. They all stood there in silence. In the distance they heard sirens. Hey, if I were you, I'd lay those weapons down. Go home to your pastor, your minister, your priest, your wife, your kids, your mistress, your television, or at least seek forgiveness for the harm you've done. And don't forget how you came to give patriots a bad name. Well, somewhat of a new song. Probably about a year old by now, I imagine. So, any requests out there? As usual, I have no set list and no big agenda. Oh, really? You know what? Why not? See, you doodle around long enough on the guitar between songs, and sooner or later somebody yells something out. The Streets of London. Well, yeah, but I'm not allowed to play cover tunes on these shows, so can't do it. Sorry. Facebook has instituted a policy of shutting people off when they play cover tunes. It's an interesting thing. Apparently the publishing business wants people like me to pay in advance to play some song like that in one of their shows. But to me, it just means that they're shooting themselves in the foot. If they didn't do that, I would play the song, and then they would be entitled to collect whatever money they would get for it on the back end. This way, I can't play it at all, and they get nothing. During the 1980s, I got this Gibson LG1 guitar from my good friend Mike Meldrum in Buffalo, New York. A guy who was Ani DeFranco's guitar teacher, in fact. And I bought it from Mike. One of his students returned it while I was playing a concert for him. And he said I could either get paid for the concert or he'd give me the guitar. I chose the guitar. And all during the 1980s, it was my main instrument, playing the speakeasy and clubs like that. And I believe this is the first song I ever wrote on that guitar. Because when I first got it, I didn't have a case. So I wore it everywhere I went. And I would just ride on the subway and make up verses every time the train stopped and it was quiet enough to hear myself. New York town and it's 4:15. Good night show's over here's the door. You sung every tune, you know it, a couple more. If there's somewhere left you ain't been before, you're on the road in New York town. You got an apartment, you could call it home, but there's no one there, you don't wanna be alone. You're walking around looking for romance, you're like a telephone that no one answers on the road in New York town. Yeah, you've been on the highway and they're all your friends. They give you rides, meals, highs, money, wave around the bend. Now you're looking round, standing in a job, lining up on Monday for a Wednesday job. You're on the road in New York town. Latin lovers, I wish I was you, huddled in the subway making one out of two. Bright lights, splatter, streaks, brakes drowning out. Old trunk singing, can you help a fella out? I'm on the road in New York town. Strip bicycles, bums, hunger everywhere. You got a bank account, but it's nothing but air. Anyway, the vampires are all around the banks, all night machine looking for someone to fang. They're on the road in New York town. You put your hand on the window and a cop says move. Bag lady sleeping in a store doorway. This time the cop's got nothing to say. She's on the road in New York town. Asshole tourist struck out with the chicks, breaks his big beer bottle on the bricks, drives his big car home after blowing all his cash. Says the trouble in New York is there's too much trash. He's on the road in New York town. Inside, there's bars on the window and the moon is high. Gonna go to the square, you can sleep outside. Some girls are already there, but they won't mind. They're on the road in New York town. I bet you can't sleep, what are you gonna do? You can go to the river, you can stare at the view. You've been going to the river now for 17 nights. It's the only thing to make you feel alright. You're on the road in New York town.
An oldie. Well, Tracy Sands was on here a minute ago, and Tracy and I have been working together, of course, since 1995, playing a lot of the Irish clubs around Palm Beach County, and some other places too. We've also played places like the Milwaukee Festival and the Cleveland Irish Festival. And Tracy's working on a new CD and has recorded this song, though I haven't heard it yet. I'm on some of the basic tracks, I believe, that we recorded some time ago, and then have been, she's been working with a producer to get the most out of this overall sound. But since this is my own song, I can sing it for you. You know, I should mention this. The person who wrote the music for this song, Steve Erickson, is going to be leading off the Greenwich Village Folk Festival 2 weeks from tonight. Actually, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on February 5th. We're starting early on that, February 5. Steve's the first act because he's coming to us from Sweden where it's already nighttime. But he wrote the music to this in this nice guitar piece. There are so many songs about Ireland. Can there be anything left to say? Still I find myself singing of Ireland, here in a land far away. And I stood on the white cliffs of Dover, seen the sun going down in Key West, and the people coming from all over, all having but one same request. They say, sing me a song of the land that I left, and all of my loved ones I don't forget. Ireland, Ireland, sing me back home again. There's something about the music of Ireland. You can go in the world anywhere, and the people love the music of Ireland, even those who have never been there. Where the mountains run down to the sea, and the hills are all covered in green, and the young hearts are broken forever by the loveliest girls ever seen. They say, sing me a song of the land that I left, and all of my loved ones I don't forget. Ireland, Ireland, sing me back home again. So pour me another tall glass and I'll sing you one more song. And if you listen real close, then the fiddler and the piper will carry it on. And if you close your eyes and imagine, then you'll find a reason to smile.
when you overhear somebody asking, can you go back a few thousand miles and sing me a song of the land that I left and all of my loved ones I don't forget. Ireland, Ireland, sing me back home again. Sing it with me. Well, sing me a song of the land that I left and all of my loved ones I don't forget. Ireland, Ireland, sing me back home again.
Well, thanks to Tracy Sands, I've also had the opportunity to meet a young fiddle player here in Palm Beach County named Ian Wilkinson, who's succeeded Rex Blazer in our trio when Rex was gone for some months. And a very fine young man, very good player. And Ian came over and recorded a couple of fiddle tracks for me here in my living room to go on my forthcoming CD. So let me play one of those songs. I could only make a stab at what he played on the harmonica, but it's kind of cool what he played. Trapper in this town. I get up in the morning when the sun comes round. I like to catch at least 10 pounds a week of hare and rabbit. I got me a single action gun and a hunting knife too, and that's good fun. And I can catch a rabbit when he's on the run, but I don't make it a habit. My pa, he's got him a real good job. He's pounding little nails out of iron rods, putting the nails in the horse's hooves so the horses can't get around. He and mother got 7 kids, so he don't mind it or he keeps it hid. I'll bring home dinner, sing it on a stick. I am the trapper in this town. I had me a girl, was a trapper too. She caught herself a rabbit and a small raccoon. Neither of us knew just what to do. We didn't want to shoot it or bring it in. It stood and hissed, but it would not beg, so we opened up the jaws with a wooden peg. The coon ran off on 3 good legs, and that girl never went with me again. Well, I don't mind, but if the truth be told, I miss her in the winter when my hands get cold. But hey, I'm just 16 years old. There's lots of pretty girls around. If you see somebody coming down the street with a couple of critters looking good to eat, that'll be me, 'cause I repeat, I am the trapper in this town.
rice and meat wagons come rumbling through. My mama buys chicken and mutton stew, takes it home on a big old block of ice. Come Friday morning, that roast is gone, that stew is over. My mom says, son, I was looking for meat and it was gone. Can you find me something nice? Well, I get up early and I make my rounds. I'm late for school and the teacher pounds her fists and says, you're never gonna amount to a thing the way you're going. I brought the teacher home for a meal. She sat between my sisters like some big deal. She says, hey, this tastes just like veal. I am the trapper in this town.
I am the trapper in this town. What's going on? Big message here. My computer's in the shop and I have my PayPal credentials saved there. Well, this could be a private message and I can't remember my password to give you a tip. Well, Mike, don't worry about it too much. It's not, the thought is appreciated. Okay, well, okay, gotcha. That was, I guess, a private message came in on my screen. Well, here's what I'm just learning to play on my Martin, so in the best of times, this is going to be rough on this guitar. But I feel like singing it for you. Hey, what up, America? Ready for the big one? Are you lining up to vote for Jesus and Kingdom Come? Only the men to have authority, except for a few women and minorities who service their masters and polish their guns so they can go out and punish those reluctant ones with their election day hit squads and their psychotic judges, and then stand before you with a straight face like the boy who cried wolf and cry freedom. They cry freedom when they're taking it away. They don't mean freedom for you. They mean freedom for themselves to tell you what to do. And your kids how to think. They're the ones who make the best decisions money can buy. And won elections they must personally run to serve the fetus and the gun. All they do is bring you down. When they stand before you with a straight face like the boy who cried wolf and cry freedom. Cry freedom on election day. Cry freedom, make them all go away. Cry freedom, everybody please. Cry freedom. How about it, America? Ready for the big shootout? Open carry everywhere. That's what I'm talking about. What could possibly go wrong? With a well-armed militia in every town, with a Bible and a fiery cross. Some would call that paradise. I could say more, but I'm being nice. And why should I worry when deep down I know they're just building him up to lay us all down low when he stands before you with a straight face, like the boy who cried wolf and cries freedom. So cry freedom on election day. Cry freedom, make them all go away. Cry freedom, that's the plan. Cry freedom, take a stand. Cry freedom while you still can. Everybody please, cry freedom. All right. Well, there's a much better version of that on YouTube already, but I thought I'd play it for you. You know, I should look over on YouTube. I imagine there could be comments there. I wonder if I've gone to all this trouble to get to YouTube and then nobody's even watching it over there. Let's see. 7 watching now. Oh, I don't see any comments. Maybe the comments are disabled. Oh no, wait, they're up here. Saul Brody. Hi, Saul. James Leo. Saul, I wish you were here so you could play harmonica with me on a song. That would be great fun. One of my favorite musicians that I've ever had a chance to accompany was Saul Brody, guy from, some of you don't know him maybe from Philadelphia, but he used to tour with Utah Phillips, the golden voice of the great Southwest. Did a doctoral dissertation on his style of humor, and if you ever saw Utah Phillips, you know he was one very funny guy. Saul came to New York, played the Speakeasy a few times, and he was a really excellent musician. And despite being a really much better harmonica player than I am, he let me sit in with him on harmonica a few times, which was really fun. So we had a great time. Nice to see you, Saul. One of these days I'm going to get back to Philly. Well, let's see. Give it time, says James Leo. I remember from workshop in the Folklore Center with the late Rick Altman. Oh, James Leo says he remembers Saul. Yes. Yes. Okay. This is fun. I could actually spend a lot more time just wheeling around on Facebook than playing music if you gave me half a chance. All right, but I guess I should sing something here. You know, during the pandemic, I wrote a lot of songs that reflected, you know, things going on in my state of mind at the time. And I'm always interested in whether or not topical songs have any staying power. Some do, and some don't. For example, I am doing a show for a private organization in the summer, and I was on the phone with the organizer of the event today, and he asked me if I could do a Phil Oakes song, and I said, sure, you know, no problem. He said he didn't want me to do Pleasures of the Harbor, though. He wanted me to do Outside of a Small Circle of Friends, which is of course a great song, and I do know it. But it was the first time in a while that anybody's actually asked me to play more topical songs. Most of the time, when you go out and play, it's for organizers who are afraid to alienate anybody, and they ask you not to play any topical songs. And I usually respect their wishes. If though I'll still play anything anybody asks for, or anything I think they really ought to hear. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see if this one has any staying power.
There's a man 6 feet away. He's laughing and pointing at me. Says I've fallen for a hoax, a conspiracy. To wear a mask, he says, infringes on his rights. It's all about freedom, he says to me. They're in the checkout line. You may be right, I say. I don't have all the answers. And if you are, I'll look foolish and have wasted my time. And if you're wrong, a lot of people might die tomorrow. Freedom goes both ways, my friend. I'm exercising mine. There's a whole political party swears there's no global warming. They got their own TV network to tell them it's all a joke. And this guy calls me a tree hugger for the electric car I'm riding. Climbs down from his monster truck in a big blue cloud of smoke. You may be right, I say, I don't know the future. And if you are, I'll miss my chance to make that engine whine. And if you're wrong, people will lose their homes and families. Freedom goes both ways, my friend. I'm exercising mine. Jesse James rode the trails across the wide Missouri. He never put a mask on except to go into a bank. He always took it off when somebody bought him dinner. And he never put it on again till somebody said thanks. Bubba Beer got on the corner with his AK-47. Says taking my guns away ain't it gonna save those kids in school. It's my right to show up anywhere, carrying anything I want to. If you ain't carrying nowadays, well maybe you're a fool. You may be right, I say, but I will still be working to walk the streets without you threatening me or my kind. And if you're wrong, we can save a lot of kids from dying. Freedom goes both ways, my friend. I'm exercising mine. Freedom goes both ways, my friend. I'm exercising mine. Freedom goes both ways, my friend. I'm exercising mine.
All right. Well, last night I had the real fun of opening for Tom Chapin at a concert here in Miami that we organized, and I sang, I don't know, 1 or 2 topical songs in my set. And afterwards, a woman walked up to me. A couple people did, actually. I think 2 different people asked me which of my CDs had the best topical songs on it. And, you know, it's not something I think about all that much, so I didn't really have an answer for them. I probably told them later that night, only to find out that I'd only brought 3 or 4 copies with me, and they ran out of them before those 2 people got to the table. I'm, you know, such a good businessman. That's how my mind works. But anyway, I thought that would be a good answer. Beginning Again, of course, has some too, and although they're more, I think, Trump-specific, which makes them seem to me a little more passé today. But not all of them. Some of them are not. This one, for example, I don't think is going away anywhere anytime that soon. Joe Public smokes 2 packs a day, drives home from work on the interstate highway. After drinking 3 beers, cell phone in hand, he's doing 80 in his oversized van. But Joe's not afraid of dying from tobacco or drinking or even his driving. Got the radio on, the reception is clear. He's hearing all the things he should fear. Joe Public is afraid of Al-Qaeda. They're coming to get him sooner or later. Joe Public is afraid of terror. He keeps getting closer in the rearview mirror. And all those illegals crossing the border, crawling through the desert, coming for his daughter. Joe Public's got a lot on his mind. Joe Public makes $35,000, has 2 kids in high school trying for college. He walks in the door, their music is playing. He can't understand a thing that it's saying. And no, Joe's not afraid that his kids will find the handgun where he keeps it hid. Joe's afraid of the United Nations, gun rights, gay rights, and peace demonstrations. He went to Home Depot, but duct tape and plastic, in case the real enemy does something drastic, like mailing him anthrax and causing a panic, or requiring everyone to learn to speak Spanish. Joe's ready for freedom to happen when the government comes to take away his weapon. Joe Public's got a lot on his mind. Got asthma at 40. His health insurance costs more than his mortgage. The state stopped testing cars for emissions. Joe's glad cause he would have had the fixes. But Joe's not afraid of pollution, thinks less regulation is the only solution. And don't get him started on health care. He says everyone knows it's a socialist nightmare. He's down with the troops, he supports every mission, if it'll keep it his gas under $4 a gallon. But why do they hate us? He can't understand. But we never did nothing to them. Joe can't wait for the next election to re-elect the guy who took away your pension. Joe Public's got a lot on his mind. And you know, just when you think a song like that is passé, I look in the paper today and the senator from Florida, Rick Scott, has not only introduced what I think is an idiot bill, but is out stumping for it to end Social Security. Not amend it, but to end it. He says if it's a good program, Congress will reenact it. Well, we know what Congress will do, which is absolutely nothing if they successfully get rid of Social Security. But fortunately, I think he's way in the minority, even in his own party. At least I hope so. But there's a guy who would end the retirement pensions of something like 32 million people, and no doubt will get elected again to the Senate in 2000, whenever he runs here in our state. We need somebody like Tom Hanks to run for the Senate in Florida. Somebody that everybody loves. You know, why not? The Republicans do it. They had Schwarzenegger, Reagan. Why not get somebody that can get elected? Well, here's one from my friend Jack.
They say you've got to lose before you can win. They say you've got to choose before you can give in. You've got to cut loose to get back again. And it's a long way back home. They say you've got to fall before you can land. They say you've got to crawl before you can stand. You've got to lose it all to get what you planned. And it's a long way back home. And it's a long way back home. When you're standing on some place you've never known, and I might see you where the rivers flow, like me. You're looking for white buffalo. They say you've got to die before you can live. They say you've got to cry before you can give. And you've got to say goodbye before you can come back in. And it's a long way back home. They say you've got to seed what you're going to grow. They say you've got to need what you're going to let go. You've got to believe what you're going to know. And it's a long way back home. And it's a long way back home. When you're standing on some place you've never known, and I might see you where the rivers flow, like me. You're looking for white buffalo. So I say to you farewell, for we will meet again on the hottest flames of hell. I could only call you friend. And when you hear that final bell, do not ask who's run your head till you found your way back home. A long way you've ever known. And I might see you where the rivers flow like me. You're looking like me. You're looking. You're just like me. You're looking. You're just like me. You're looking. You're just like me. You're looking. Oh, you're just like me. You're looking. You're just like me. You're looking for white buffalo.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate that. Hope I didn't murder it too bad. Well, let's cruise around just a little bit. See. Okay, that's the Restream page. What do you folks think? Does this Restream thing work for you? Is it an improvement over Zoom? It seems to be a little more in sync. I think that it uses more bandwidth. It sends it out in a higher resolution form, and as a result, my mouth and guitar hand are more likely to move in time with the music, probably, which is a good thing in my opinion. Let's see. Yeah, there we are. Much better than Facebook, says James Leo. Good to know. Good. Yep. Yep. And over here, okay. Before I do another tune, let me make a couple quick announcements. The Greenwich Village Folk Festival is in 2 weeks. It's at 3 p.m., 3 to 6, and not solely because of it, but in honor of Black History Month, we went out and twisted some arms a little bit. Just kidding. But Guy Davis, Leah Morris, Josh White Jr., and Vance Gilbert are all appearing in this concert, which I think is wonderful. All tremendous singers and songwriters. And also Walter Parks, who is not that widely known, but really ought to be. He's a brilliant musician. He toured as Richie Havens' lead guitar player for a while. And at one point, he spent, I think, a year or two in the Okefenokee Swamp in Georgia, where there is a severely impacted community of people with virtually no communication to the outside world. I don't know the name of what they're called, but they have, not surprisingly, over 200 or 300 years of living in the middle of a swamp with little contact outside, evolved their own songs and their own music and their own language, and he learned a lot of it and has recorded some of their songs for the Library of Congress. And Walter's in the show. Mad Agnes Trio, Steve Erickson, the lead guitar player on my Dr. Gachet CD, who's a great musician and released a CD in English of some songs that he co-wrote with a woman from Pennsylvania, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. Got quite a bit of airplay in the United States. He's an excellent writer and singer and guitarist. And John Forster, one of the funniest guys on the planet, author of this immortal stanza, which I've always loved. J.S. Bach wrote this melody in 1459. I wrote some words and changed about 2 notes. Now ASCAP says it's mine. Something like that. Anyway, it's the American Tune by Paul Simon. Kind of a interesting comment. I'm trying to think who else is in the show. John Flynn. I'm doing this from memory. Well, Bob Bosson from Canada. And that may be everybody. I may have forgotten somebody. I'm sorry if I have. And that's from 3 to 6 on the week in between the football playoffs and the Super Bowl, February 5. I think I'll probably do another show here. I'm not sure about next week. I'll have to check my calendar. And maybe February, I know definitely February 12 I have one on my calendar. So I'll look for you folks then. If you'd like to donate to my tip jar tonight, this spot right here, paypal.me/donate to Rod, will gratefully accept your assistance. I've just gotten wind of some of the expenses I'm going to have in the next couple of years as Elliot goes to college. So everything gratefully accepted. And what else can I tell you? Some upcoming dates. If you're local in Florida, I'm doing a concert called... actually, you can watch this, the recording of this as well. I'm doing a concert on February 16 for Florida Atlantic University's lifelong learning program in Boca Raton, called The Songs of Greenwich Village, kind of a history of the major songs that came out of the village from about 1940 to about 1990 or so, when the scene kind of left the village and moved over to Brooklyn. The program doesn't stream it live, but they do record it for what they call catch-up. So if you go on my website, rodmacdonald.com or .net, there are links where you can sign up for that. And I'm also doing it in March in Jupiter, but that one's not being recorded in advance. Or not being recorded, that's only if you can come live. Well, I had a chance to play this one last night in honor of my sister who passed away 3 years ago this month. 4 years ago this month. Wow, time flies. And she always used to ask me when I was going to record this song. Now every time I think of you, it makes me stop and listen. Songs may come and songs may go, but you go right on singing. You make a man feel bolder to see you stand so proud. And you look just like a raven out on a cloud. Now take a walk down by the sea. The gulls and the children yearn for sailing ships out on the water. Some never do return. And I will take you by the hand, feel the four winds blow. And you look just like a raven
chances come and chances are we do not linger long. Dancing down the water's edge, the waves break castles down. And I will take you in the sand as the sunlight fades away. And you look just like a raven out on the grave. So you see, I only stand here braced against your trust. Touching you is touching me. I thought that feeling lost. And I will see you safe to harbor. And if we never meet again, I'll remember you like a raven out on the wind. I'll remember you like a raven out on the wind.
You know, I have just realized that I got a couple requests way back at the beginning of the show and probably didn't do any of them. Well, it looks like I didn't. I'm going to continue doing this, hopefully, on both YouTube and Facebook. The YouTube allows you to actually set it up in advance. So you can go ahead of time if you want to and find it. It'll say Restream on it usually. That's the software that I'm using. But it'll also have the date. It'll say like the current one has Rod MacDonald Live 1/22/23. So I'll do the same thing next time. And if you want to find it there, you can. Thanks everybody for listening, watching. Hope I'll see you soon. Looks like I'm going to be teaching virtually at Common Ground this summer up in Maryland for songwriting and maybe some video lectures. That'll be the last week of June. You who sleep beside me here in this quiet night, do you ever wonder how you first came in sight? The bells of the cathedral were dying in the wind. You looked at me and smiled across your crowd of friends, and I felt a recognition, not of someone from the past, but of a true beauty that was meant to last. And I wanted to speak to you, or even say your name and get it right. You who sleep beside me here in this quiet night, you who sleep beside me here in this quiet life, Do you ever wonder how you became my wife? The room was lit by just a candle. Over by the bed, you walked across the room, smiled and turned your head, and I felt a recognition, not from another time, but of the meaning of the words, will you be mine? And I wanted to hold you, safe from every sorrow or strife. You who sleep beside me, here in this quiet life. Now you who sleep beside me, here in this quiet place. Do you ever wonder at the futures we face? At the sound of thunder, I look for shelter for two, and I walk through this world knowing I'll come to rest with you. And I feel a recognition, not a habit or right or wrong, but a feeling of arriving at the place where I belong. And I whisper I love you and leave you in your own state of grace. You who sleep beside me, here in this quiet place. You who sleep beside me, here in this quiet night. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think I got to say goodnight. Thanks for staying with me this long if you're still here, and see you soon, I hope, somewhere. Travel safe, stay safe. You know, down here in Florida, we've had a dramatic increase in COVID cases over the last couple of months, which has led to a crackdown on mask mandates, so that nobody's required to wear a mask or get vaccinated down here in the land of the free. All right, catch you later. Thanks again. Good night.